It's live. Congratulations.
We're live. We're here.
We made it.
Let's do this. Welcome, everyone. How you guys doing? Look at these faces right now. I'm excited.
That is a terrible intro, dude. That is a terrible intro. I'm just going to stop you right there and just go, hey, everybody. Welcome to the Caller Meetup podcast.
Welcome to the Caller Meetup live. My name is Anthony Paluzzi with PALO Media Group. I got my good buddy, Gene, on the mic. Gene's up there in the right corner. He's looking golden as hell, making me look pale. I also got my friends Ron from Mobile Pushers and Carlos Corona from Unik. Unik Media.
How's it going, buddy?
How you guys doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Awesome.
We'll try the best we can.
What's that?
I said we'll try the best we can to not talk over each other, which is what I'm doing to you right now.
It's gonna happen.
And try to keep the space and let people speak.
Yeah, 6 feet, man. 6 feet. All right.
You got the got the coronavirus out there. Nobody wants to get infected here.
All right.
So we're gonna keep it real.
The corona-free zone, man. Right. So anyone watching this right now, we got 9 of you watching. If anyone has any questions, please comment on this live stream. We'll see it appear, and we'll ask those questions as we go.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm ready to talk some shit, and I want to dive right in. So, really, for anyone who doesn't know who these two gentlemen are, you should be Googling them. You should be following them if you're in pay-per-call at all. You're not doing any justice.
Don't do that. I will not recommend you guys doing that at all.
Go to the Better Business Bureau and type in Carlos Corona.
Carlos got too much not safe for work content out there. Hey, I want to give you guys an opportunity to give a little quick intro on yourselves, and I'll start with you, Ron. Tell everyone a little bit about who you are and what you're doing, man.
So I'm focused more so in mobile lead generation. I just started doing pay-per-call maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. I was running mostly EDU, student loans. My back when Facebook was sweet. You get the slap on the wrist, like that. But I'm mostly doing Facebook. EDU and student loans. Then recently, I picked up Mass Torts. Mass Torts been good for like the past like 2.5 years. Just mostly just lead generation.
Excellent, awesome, man. Awesome.
Mostly Facebook, right? All Facebook.
Yeah, for most part, Facebook, and I'm testing out TikTok right now, stuff like that.
TikTok, oh shit.
Okay, so how'd you stumble into pay-per-call?
From the affiliate summit West, from there. So I met somebody, did this affiliate who was doing it, and he had mentioned it to me. It was a company called Surge Calls, I think.
Okay.
Back then, yeah. So Surge Calls, that's when I got in with the EDU. He was like, hey, I got this medical billing campaign, this office, this campaign. It was doing like 40K a day type shit. Like that. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna test it out. So I got on Facebook. I just did like I ran engagement ads for pay-per-call. So,
oh really?
Yeah, it was crazy. This pretty much the same strategy I used since day one. I make sure like a billboard outside or whatever. And I took a picture of it. I edited it, put the phone number in like that. So I did that with EDU, and it just like took off. I was doing like 50K a day, whatever. And EDU back like 18, I think, 2019, 18, 2018, I think. Yeah, it was like crazy. So yeah, that's been my bread and butter for a while. EDU and student loans. And then
wow.
Okay.
That's what.
I remember the student loan days. Those were very fun. Those were very fun. Awesome, dude. Well, Carlos, spit some game, my friend.
Not much, man. What can I tell you? Been doing this for a while. Especially when I was in college, I got this crazy idea. I don't know if I told you guys before, but I got this crazy idea. Like, hey, how about I just set up, websites for all these businesses around me, and then I will charge them like 25 cents a call, every time that a call comes in. That shit didn't work out. But I realized that I needed to, stay in the call lane, but charge a lot more money. And I went ahead and just, started doing like my own business, like developing business around the media that I was buying. So I opened like a online fragrance wholesale Then I moved into logistics, and it was because I was able to buy media very cheap and like scale drastically against local competitors, especially like freight forwarding and stuff like that. And then fast forward to 2015, 2016, I was like, hey, let me go back to that idea that I had about, charging per call. Started working with a local water restoration remediation company, and we were doing pretty good. I was generating calls, everything was fine and dandy until I realized that, he was just too local. I needed to go nationwide, right? I needed to make more money. And I was like, I wonder if there's companies out there that will buy my calls, right? And I searched and I'm like, whoa, pay-per call, what the hell is this? And the rest was history, the rest after that was like, putting in the work, doing the traffic, scaling it. And I was like, man, this is so easy. Let me start teaching people how to do this. And then here we are.
Hell yeah. Nice, man.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
There's that echo.
So you guys kind of. Oh, there's some of that feedback again. There we go. That's better. Yeah. So you guys kind of got started in other forms of lead gen then, right? So you kind of just rolled into pay per call. Yeah. How cumbersome was that, right? Because sometimes people can roll into pay per call and it's not that hard. I mean, when I got started, it was pure Google search, right? Running call only ads. I still do that. I still do that for myself and for Anthony internal. But it seems like these days, like a lot of these campaigns are like hit or miss. I mean, 9 out of 10 usually fail. So like, what can you guys like attribute to your success in terms of turning around a pay-per-call campaign, or just dovetailing from, say, traditional lead gen and then kind of rolling into pay-per-call and getting to a point where it's like, I'm successful here? Is it the mechanics, or is it your creativity? Like Ron, you're talking about like taking pictures and stuff with your phone and so forth. Yeah. What is it that's what sets you guys apart from everybody else?
With the lead gen, like I said, it's not the same as running like lead gen offers, the whole lead form. It's not the same. So you have to get the user in the mindset to prepare themselves to make a phone call. As I said, with the billboard method, if they see a billboard, more chances are, they're like a phone number, on the billboard if you sit outside on the street. It's just, just shifting the mindset of the user, pretty much.
Carlos, how about you?
I look at campaigns a little bit. I think everybody has their own way, but I look at campaigns a little bit different. And by that, I mean like the Facebook ads library. So I can see exactly what is going on, and then I have some basic filters that will determine whether I will run that or not. Because for me, it's a calculated risk, right? You have a set amount of money, you can buy a media, and this is the expected return, and this is the time that you got to do it, right? So I look for things that either are emergency or is not going to cost the consumer any money. Right? Meaning they're not going to make a purchase or a financial decision over the phone. And that will limit a lot of your campaigns down to home services, legal, and in some cases, insurance, right? Mm-hmm. So, and then I look at it, can I go nationwide with this? And who are the end buyer, right? To determine what, if it's worth it, if there's enough market size there to go at it. And that's kind of like how I go to determine what campaigns to run. Then we move on to creative, landing page, testing, everything that you said. But I guess at the beginning is understanding like what's going on, like the whole ecosystem behind that call, right? So that's how I look at it.
Did you guys there it is. Did you guys get assistance or help from, say, like a mentor early on? Because I found I got started on Stack That Money, and I started running everything. I mean, I was just testing everything under the sun, and I was failing at everything. And I think I had about 20 grand to play with, and I saved up from my day job, just saving up money so I could turn around and waste it all on traffic. And finally, my good buddy Paul sees me struggling, and he introduces me to pay per call, and he kind of shows me the way, And then I'm
great name drop.
oh shit, this is how it's done. You know, it took a guy, you know, I wasn't smart enough to figure it out on my own. So it took a guy to kind of show me. Now, is this a similar path for you guys, or did you really just like chug it out until you figured it out?
I learned on YouTube. YouTube and
right on. That's better
than
than me,
yeah, YouTube, networking at the summits for sure. You know, and on trial and error, you know, like when I first started affiliate marketing, I was running like email submits, like heavy, like back and forth, and I got into a paper call shit. You know, I was doing like the low income housing email submit, you know, the surveys, you know, the whole 9 yards, whatever, you know. But yeah, so I pretty much just I learned from YouTube, the affiliate summits, and just trial and error. You know, like when I first started, you know, I made like maybe like 5 or 10 grand email submits, whatever. I tried that with a couple paper call offers. I lost it all. You know, wow. I start over from the beginning. I was promoting like home warranty offers with commission junction and whatnot.
Yep. Great entry point.
Right. So I used that money. I got to Facebook, the paper card, and just like it went up from there. You know, with the whole engagement, man. Like it was so sweet back when they were Facebook. Like it was so sweet.
Yeah.
How about you, Carlos?
I think I did it backwards because all this time I was doing Google, you know, buying media to landing pages, to company websites or e-commerce stores, right? And then when I got started with pay per call, I went heavy into classified, especially Craigslist, right? I was like, Then I hired like a VA to like, you know, to post my ads. And then after that, I was like, you know, I can automate this with a software. I found this, you know, online tool and automated it. And it was doing great. I mean, it wasn't making like tons of money, but I guess in the beginning weeks, it started making like 2-3 grand a week, right? And I was like, whoa, this is not bad actually, you know, like this is better than working on a retainer with a client, whatever the case may be. Now let me try this on Google, and that's when it exploded, right? When I could now buy, you know, media at a larger scale, not so much limited in one website or traffic source.
Right? When you say media on Google, are you talking about display ads? Are you talking about traditional call only search related? Like, what do you mean by that?
Correct. I'm talking about, you know, dynamic, responsive ads, call ads. Don't do much display. I should, but I just don't do it. So most of my ads are either call ads or responsive.
Got it.
Right.
Got it.
And by responsive is because I can play around a little bit with the specific ad group, right? With the ad, the feel of the design. You know, I tested pretty much everything like SCAG, like a single keyword ad group, like multiple close variations to see which one works best. And believe it or not, I just let Google do the work for me. I just go to the keyword planner and it spits it out like, this is what you got to bid on. And then every time I follow that, obviously you got to clean it up, you know, but every time I follow that, it's like, yeah, thank you. Didn't need like extra complicated way to do it. I think people tend to overcomplicate things. You know?
Yeah, I hear you. I know. Like my personal experience is typically it's like you can make something convert, but the cost to acquire that lead doesn't necessarily translate to profit, right? So it could be $1 in and you know 50 cents out essentially, and you're like, okay, it kind of works, but it doesn't. And that seems to be the trend these days. It's just hyper competitive, competing with you're competing with the brands themselves oftentimes, right? So the cost to acquire a lead. So with Facebook, how is it that you guys are crushing it so well? You know, is it because I imagine the brands are probably running offers too, right? So their ability to acquire a lead, they can spend more money to do that. And how do you guys keep up with that? How do you get so profitable and scale too? Because it always seems like when I find something that's working, there's a limited scale too in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's the hard part, the scale.
Yeah, on creativity, pretty much, you know, like, you know, the big brands, they don't be that creative with their ad copies. As you can see, it's more like straight to the point. You know, so that's one way to get lower cost per results. That way, you know, just be more creative than you know, the big brands.
Understanding the mindset, I guess, of the person that's looking at your ads too, right? Because
Yeah,
you know, with Facebook, you guys like I'm a Google search guy, so everything's kind of bottom of the funnel. So I'm paying top dollar for a call because these people are ready to, you know, they're ready to convert. But you guys have to use the power of persuasion, right? You have to catch them at the top of the funnel. Hell, they might not even know they need whatever it is you're offering. Can you walk us through a little bit, like open enrollment's coming up, right? Like
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. So are you guys running open enrollment? And if you are, like what's that campaign look like for you guys?
for an example, pretty much what I show everybody is you know, the Facebook lead ad forms. You know, the user, you know, it mentioned that they could. They mentioned they may qualify for additional benefits, you know, dental, vision, etc. You know, and the lead ad form, you know, you ask them maybe like 2 or 3 questions. You know, if they live in the U.S., if they're over 65 and over, 65 and over, and if they're interested, you know, in the dental, vision, or hearing benefits, you know, you have them select the benefits that they want. And then at the end of the lead format, it will say, okay, you're eligible for these benefits. You know, call now to speak with a specialist. You know,
So you had a call to action at the very end, right at that lead form submit. Gotcha. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So
sorry to cut you off. Keep going.
Oh, that's good. I'll just say, yeah. So like, you know, in the lead form, you know, because the user, they initially visit the lead form, you know, just to see what this is about. But as they go through the lead form, you know, you tell them, hey, you may be eligible for these benefits. You know, so they answer a few questions, and once they get to the end of the funnel, the lead form, like, okay, congrats, you know, you're eligible for these benefits. You know, in the call now. You know, it is more so, you know, their mindset is shifting within the lead form.
Gotcha. Nice.
Carlos, same for you, Carlos?
Yeah, I mean, like, you got to stand out, and sometimes you got to push creativity to its limit, because big carriers, big companies, they have a lot of compliance that they got to follow. And now with the CMS letter from last Friday, I think everybody's shook as far as like, what do we do now? Like, everybody's looking at each other.
I missed that. What is it?
CMS letter? Yes. So,
go ahead, Carlos. My bad.
No, go ahead, Anthony. You can talk about it then.
Well, yeah, CMS essentially came out with a memo to all carriers, really resellers of Medicare, and just said, hey, listen, this year, let's make sure your marketing is in line with what we see as compliant. And so you got to be responsible for not just what you're doing marketing wise, but I think the term they used was downline. Make sure your marketers are following these guidelines. Make sure you get them improved too through us, which I have no idea how CMS can do that with all of these different ad variations. But pretty much just said, hey, don't let the user think that they're actually speaking with the government Medicare agency, and don't promise them anything. And so that kind of sent the industry into hey, all right, a few fucking days before AEP, this is a great time to drop this on us. Thank you. And now everyone's just ensuring their Medicare ads are compliant, going through the process. But yeah, that's pretty much what the memo is about. So I'll let you guys keep going though.
Yeah, so you got to stand out, right? But now with this update, with the new, you know, they got to make sure that we put disclaimers in there. And I think that the letter was like more specific to like the big companies running TV ads, right? Not so much as online, but you know. But anyways, you gotta make sure that you're compliant and let people know, whether in the ad copy or the creative, that you're not there's no government affiliation, and some of the plans or the benefits are only available in limited areas or to a limited group of enrollees. right? Especially for some of us that are using angles such as like dental, vision, health, OTC benefits, or a possible premium gift back in some cases, and why not, right? So those angles are usually not the preferred angle that a carrier or larger company will go with. They will go more like safe, more in line with their brand. Like, hey, this is company so and so, like call us now and stuff like that. Where if you really want to catch the attention of and be able to generate thousands of calls a day, then your ad copy and your ad creative have to stand out because you have less than a second. I think that takes less than a second to scroll past a post, right? So you got to make sure that you catch that attention.
So it kind of leads me to testing. How much testing do you do before you find a winner? Is this something? Are you guys just constantly testing, or do you hit a sweet spot and you're like, okay, we can set it off and let the algos do their jobs? Can you break it down, like how you guys do your testing?
Yeah, a lot, a lot. Like I didn't go to sleep till like 7 this morning. Because right now I have about 75 ads ready to be done to go live tomorrow.
Wow.
But yeah,
okay.
So yeah, testing. Man. So
is that automated, Ron? Like you said, 75. That just doesn't sound like one person can do 75 ads. You're using software for that?
No. I do
all you?
Photoshop, yeah.
Holy shit!
I didn't go sleep. I didn't go sleep like 7 this morning. Like,
money never sleeps, right?
The testing. Yeah, the way I run my campaigns on Facebook, I have one ad campaign, 3 ad sets, and in each ad set, I have 3 ads. And with the ads, there's 1 image and 3 different headlines on each ad. That makes sense?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, that's how I do it, the testing. And then my ad set budget is usually the same amount as the payout. Like for example, if Medicare offer pays $40 or whatever, that's the ad set budget. And that's really enough, to see if you can get a few conversions, within that amount right there. That's usually enough right there,
You'll know if you got a winner or not if you can hit that.
Yeah, because usually like a good ad with that. Let's say for example, right? My daily budget is like $50, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
Right now with Medicare, with a good ad, a good creative, I can probably get about maybe like 7 conversions or so, off that $50 ad spend.
Wow,
for that. So
that's impressive.
That should be enough right there.
Is there something special to the type of campaign you run in terms of Facebook? And you have to forgive me. I'm super naive with Facebook. I don't run anything on Facebook. I'd like to. I'm just gonna start learning. I'm listening to you guys. But is there like a manual? Is there like a manual mode or like a target CPA mode? Because I'm a Google search guy. So like what is it over there on Facebook that you guys are traditionally running, like at your bread and butter campaigns?
I do lowest cost, lowest cost. If I'm gonna scale aggressively, I do manual bid, and I set the bid cap, maybe like around $1 or $2. Like that. But for the most part, I do lowest cost.
Lowest cost.
Yeah,
right.
The bidding.
Okay.
How about you, Carlos?
Same thing, I'm always testing, and I like to outsource a lot of things. Not the media buying side, but for example, creatives, right? I don't have the time where I can sit here to open Photoshop and come up with creatives. So you can use, like for example, like the ads library, and then be like, hey, you see all this creative? I need you to redo them for me. I don't want it to be the same one, but I want it to be similar for the campaigns that I'm running, right? Then once I have all the creatives, like yesterday, I launched like 700 and something ads, right? Whoa. Some crazy numbers, right? So, and then I go and then we hire a local company to do video testimonials and stuff like that. And then we'll come up with like 10 different video cuts, right? Then boom, I got my videos right there. They're original. They're my videos, and then we'll start throwing them in the mix, and then layering the campaign. Whether first they see an image and then they're being retargeted with a video, or whatever might be the case. And then after that, either sending traffic to a very simple landing page with a clear call to action, or using some of the objective that Facebook has, such as lead ads, right? Which is like form fills that you can include TCPA language in there. You can also connect it with trusted form from active prospect, and have your trusted form URL if you're sent your certificate URL if you're selling like the forms, the leads on a ping post, or why not. And then you can also do the calls, the call ads, which is something new on Facebook, and that works pretty well. And also new on Facebook is call extension, and you can run those either on a traffic campaign or a conversion campaign. So by doing a call extension, it's pretty much a banner in the lower part of the screen that the person can click and call. So you got to test out all the different campaign objectives, right? Whether you're collecting form fills, generating calls straight from the Facebook app without having to navigate somewhere else, or sending that call to a landing page.
Fantastic.
Gotcha.
Does how long do these campaigns last for you guys? Once you find a profitable campaign and it's up and running, is this something that can just run for years or months, or are you like constantly like on a hamster wheel just trying to keep this thing going? I found that with native. I found like I find something, I got some conversions coming in, I got a decent CTR, but man, I was just constantly spitting out creative after creative, just trying to keep up, and then you had people stealing your shit, and it's just like I give up, So what kind of moats or what gives you your edge in this space? It keeps you guys running and not getting banned by Facebook, and not your creatives aren't getting stolen by everybody and reran.
Yeah, for the most part, the ads last for a long time, until you hit ad fatigue, or until your ad get ripped, then you see the same creative over and over again like that, and then you'll see your RPC start to drop. And then that's when it's time to switch up like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Get the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
It really depends on the campaigns, right? There's campaigns that have limited time, I guess, if you want to call it, quote unquote, like open enrollment and the annual enrollment period, right? And there's campaigns also that have limited time, like mass tort and legal. And you have to, before X date. And that's usually what works best with Facebook, right? And Medicare, I ran Medicare before, mostly on the transfer side, right? And then this year, I went out to lunch with Ron over here and Bill. We were here in Miami Beach. I don't know, just happened to grab lunch. He said, hey, I'm going to give it a go at this Medicare thing. I'll see what's happened, before that I was running Flight, and I kind of took a break for a little bit. I figured that each campaign, like once you hit like a goal, you're like, okay, I can take a break for a few months now and see what I'm going to do next, right? And I was like, you know what, I'm going to do Medicare. And man, I hit that like Forrest Gump, like running as soon as I'm like, bam. And, and so far, right, I was looking at it, and we're doing some pretty large numbers in there, and I want to keep scaling it more, because now I'm seeing that the buyers have a huge appetite, and I'm here struggling, like sending like 3,000 calls a day, and they're telling me they want like 7,500 calls a day. I'm like, holy crap. Yeah. What am I gonna do now? I gotta activate superpowers, and I think that's gonna be like at least my focus. At least, like the people that I coach and my students, stuff like that, our network, all culture overall, that's going to be the focus for the next month or so until December 7th. And after that, we're just going to take a break to see what's next.
Take a breather. Hey, Gene, I'd like to jump in and ask a question about the lead ads. You guys said that you're using lead ads. Obviously, you can push for that call at the end of the lead ad, but you got that juicy data after that form submit. What kind of funnels are you guys building after that when it comes to, let's say, automated follow-up or any differentiators there to help you just increase that overall ROI come AEP tomorrow? What's the funnels look like there?
Yeah, pretty much everything. The data gets synced over using what's called Zapier, using that. So you have the data synced over, to your SMS platform, to your inbound dialing platform, also your email service provider. If you use GetResponse or anything like that. So what I do is too with my lead forms, I add an extra step. To be on TCPA compliant. Have them that's the slide at the send bar, and once the user does that, and then go to the form and hit submit. So yeah, that data just gets synced over to all my follow-up platforms.
Oh, excellent. Okay, that's important. It's automated. Carlos, you doing something similar?
Yeah, the money is in the monetization of the leads, right? So I treat them like an orange. I squeeze the juice out of them. So whether they're being sold in real time or being sent to a paywall type of funnel, or cross promoting other offers, being rented out, whatever it might be, however, I think that's really where the money's at, is monetizing your leads. So I strongly recommend everybody to do that. I'm sure everybody's doing that already, but
yeah, I think when you have that, come tomorrow, everyone is going after the same exact person. There's so much money being thrown at these individuals. So I love your style and you guys' flow in terms of, hey, let's not just stop at that first click. Let's monetize further down this funnel. It's important, especially then you can build your brand too. You can start to monetize even deeper from there, which is great. Gene, I'll let you continue unless you want to pivot into some other topics, my friend.
Oh man, I just want to talk a little bit about tools a little bit. Like, what are you guys using for tools outside? Because Ron brought up like Zapier, as an example. And what do you guys do to kind of help with the heavy lifting in your campaigns? That's your business in general. And then I want to talk a little bit about networks, like PALO, for example, and what you guys are doing with respect to lead buyers. So how about those tools? Like, what are you guys using for tools these days?
For automation, I don't use much automation tool. I do it. I wake up like 6 in the morning. I do it.
Photoshop the shit out of
I gotta stop. I have to stop that. I need automation tools.
Yeah,
it's draining me, as you can see. But that's really it. Just Photoshop.
okay.
I got ManyChat to automate the DMs.
You said ManyChat?
ManyChat for digital, DMs. Okay.
Yeah. That's really about it as far as tools, I can think of it right now,
I'm going to come back to you on that. a little bit because that's I have some questions with respect to the DMs and the ManyChat and what your pages look like too. Because I'm like in the back of my head right now, I'm thinking like, okay, I want to play with Facebook, but never done really any Facebook. So I'm trying to come at it from a brand new, like coming from a different traffic source and understand how it works. Carlos, what are you using for tools these days? Are you like your virtual assistants and things like that? Like what's
same things. Like with Zapier and Integromat, Pipedream, those are, API connectors. And then obviously Ringbuff for the call tracking side of thing. There's other automations to turn on and off campaigns and monitor campaigns, duplicate winners and things like that, right? That will automate most of your day-to-day task. It's just you got to be careful when you set those up because you can go a little bit overboard and, derail you completely. So I like to automate everything as much as possible. The less that I got to do, the better, right? Yeah. That's how I look at it. So if a computer can do it, then Carlos, get out of the way, right? So I want to make sure I automate all of it. And then talking about that, I'm transitioning into like a RTB only kind of setup campaigns. I'm tired dealing with fixed numbers, Skyping me, we hit cap with our main buyer, pause, do this and do that. I'm like, get out of here, bro. I'm having a cappuccino. Listen, let's go RTB. And then when you hit cap, turn me off and don't bother me. Like, seriously. So I'm trying to go in that direction out there, but everybody's like selling to reselling. So as soon as you mention RTV, they go like, "Whoa, let me talk to my developer." I'm like, seriously?
Can you tell me about RTV? Like what's RTV? What's RTV?
Real-time bidding.
RT. Okay, gotcha. Like ping post, same thing. Yeah,
like a call ping tree type of thing. You know what, Gene?
So naive.
Yeah, you mentioned. You look great, man. You mentioned buyers at the beginning of this, and Carlos, you just jumped into that topic a little bit right there too. Come AEP, come tomorrow. Big money's getting thrown across the board everywhere. Buyers, networks, affiliates. Your ad budgets are going to be disgustingly huge.
You getting emails now?
Yeah. It's everyone's getting emails to Ron and Carlos trying to get that budget. But what goes into the process for you guys when it comes to choosing your buyer, choosing your network? What's the logistics behind that? Because cash flow is very important, especially when you guys are fronting everything. What's the process look like there?
I would pretty much say, for the most part, most people I work with, either if it's a network or direct buyer, I know them personally, so it's more like a relationship type of thing, like that. But yeah, just that and fast payouts, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really
keep it simple.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because if I'm really cool with the buyer or my AM, I'm sure I get a higher budget, higher cap.
Yeah. Ron gives the love out if you go karaoke with him. Just
all right.
Carlos, how about you, man?
Yeah, same thing. Most of the buyers are companies that I've been working with in the past. So we have, relationship, whether we met in person before or why not. So I wouldn't take any new company that I've never done business with right now. It's just, I'm like, who are you? Get out of here. So you already know who you're working with. It's, realistically, it's not that many companies that are really the end buyer of this call.
Quality.
Correct. So, it's kind of like, it's kind of keep doing business with it.
Gotcha.
So
with that, I just want to, the biggest thing I think people forget, and especially for network owners out there, is these guys right here and anyone else you're working with. It's a partnership. It's not just they're my affiliate, because you have no power over this process if there's no traffic. Now, there is a valuable part of that chain, but you got to look at it like a partnership. Fast payment, make sure they're getting what they need. Their needs are fulfilled. And you guys, and are we cool? Do we want to grow with this person? Do we want to spend time with this person? Like Gene, for example, this dude just came out of nowhere, and I was like, I love this dude. Let's figure out how we can do. I love you, Gene.
I love you too, man.
So it was just, hey, he wanted to be a partner, and that's the type of partner that I want, is someone who's going to dedicate time. So I love that perspective, and you're not going to win during AEP if you don't have a partner. So yeah, Gene, I think you wanted to go on.
I was just gonna comment. I mean, for all the new publishers out there who are jumping around from network to network, you have to understand. And it took me a while to figure this one out. That you're going to find your edge probably in a relationship with one good network. Like if you figure out the ins and outs of a good network, that's not going to screw you over. When they got competent affiliate managers and good buyers, and the IVRs are working and so forth, you're gonna go a lot further than jumping around from all these different networks, because half of them, in my mind, half of them are incompetent. Maybe it's not their fault. Then there's going to be some incompetence, and then there's going to be some maliciousness. Where they will rip you off, and you just have to be very careful. And I found my edge was marrying myself to PALO, and just ignoring everybody else and just figuring out how to make PALO work. Because I know Tony was a great guy, and and I got to work behind the scenes. So I was an account manager for roughly a year, just so I can understand the network. And once you kind of see it from that point of view, then you're like, oh, okay, a lot could go wrong, and as a publisher, especially a new publisher, you might not realize hey, this isn't your fault, man. What's going on, and you definitely see it on the traditional CPA stuff, with the different neutral offers and things like that. they can definitely scrub. You know, you can't really do that with phone calls because the tracking is too good. But yeah, you just have to be cognizant of that stuff.
Yeah, what you just said right there is totally important for AP guys. Like, pick someone who's going to give you that edge. Gene, you just fucking nailed it. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Stop being
Yeah. So
Okay.
are you guys just working with like a small handful of people? Like, how many offers are you guys running at a time normally?
Besides the Medicare,
Besides Medicare,
I have a lot going on. Mass tort, Medicare, life insurance, auto insurance. Yeah, I think 2 other offers too. I gotta see my ring book count. Yeah,
Share your screen, man. Let's look at it.
It's all good. Carlos, the same with you, buddy. Are you running a whole bunch of different stuff, or?
Yeah, so we run home services like all year round, right? Because that's like my evergreen, paid for the overhead cost kind of thing campaign, right? And then I go heavy on budget on campaigns that I know that aren't giving me like a great ROI. So I try running multiple campaigns at the same time, and it gets too much because I do all the media by myself, right? So it gets too much. It's like, whoa, man, like if I don't look at it for one day, boom, 25 grand are gone, you know? So I'm like concentrating one at a time. And so what I did is like, I noticed that I can either get 100% of what I generate, or I can start teaching people how to do this stuff, earn their business, bring them over to my small little network of the offers that I'm running. I'm like, hey guys, you pay me and you get to copy my stuff. Now you have a business, go for it, right?
That's awesome.
And that has been working great. And, you know, we've grown now to like over 500 publishers. Most of them are not really generating anything except for like the top 3%. And I think that's across any business, right? And for Medicare, to kick it off, I decided to do a challenge, to do a $10,000 challenge. And it was pretty simple. It's like, hey, meet me online for 3 days, 1 hour a day. I'm gonna show you what I do with Medicare. You guys can do it too. 21 days later, whoever generated the most revenue, I'll give them 10 grand. That should be, you know, a good incentive to look into pay-per-call if you're new to pay-per-call, or if you're experienced. I was like, hey, Ron, you cannot participate. This will be too easy for you. But a lot of newbies jump in, and one of them, you know, God, this guy made like 67K in 3 weeks. Wow. And he goes like, bro, like, and top of that, he gave me 10K. I'm like, man, you almost made 100 grand in less than a month. And he got serious at it, and now he's crushing it. So I love seeing that. I love seeing somebody that was a traditional marketing agency owner or a plumber or whatever might be the case, right? Transition into pay-per-call and broke all their mental barriers. Like if you would have talked to me like 10 years ago about 100 grand a year, I would have said, wow, that's a lot of money, right? You know, that like, and now once you start running this campaign, you're telling me that I had $100 a week and I almost cried, you know what I'm saying? So it changes your mind. It changes how you think about things. And that's why I would love for a lot of people to come into this, because I think it's only going to make us better. It's definitely only going to make Ron better, myself, you guys better, because it will be like basketball. It will be like LeBron playing with nobody else, right? So if you start bringing in talent, those diamonds are going to rise to the top, and this is going to go to the next level. That's how I look at it. And then I deal with publishers, with new publishers or experienced publishers, not necessarily in pay-per-call and whatever they were doing before, and they're not tainted by the industry. They're not quote unquote network whores, you know, like Ron says, right? They don't bounce around for 50 cents or $1. So there's some kind of loyalty there, especially if if we're teaching you how to do this, how to do it the right way, you know, how to build long lasting relationship, how to turn this into an actual business, not an online hobby, not the next shiny object. So that's what I've been focusing on, like since 2018 now. Like I'm building this by hand, me, sending traffic to you guys, sending traffic, I think we did quite a bit when credit repair was around. I would love to do more business now with AEP. And then, with the other networks, going, meeting, face to face and just building like a overall satisfying business around the pay per call idea.
I love that, man. It reminds me, your story kind of reminds me of like my story a little bit. Like when I got started, my only goal was to make $200 extra a month, so I could afford a cleaning lady for my house, because I got tired of watching my wife clean the house, and I was no good at cleaning the house, so she would just clean up behind me. And I was like, if I could just make $200 a month with this online marketing stuff, I'm winning, and that's how it started. And then you make your first dollar, and then you're like, holy shit, this stuff works. Like, this is real, and then that just starts the whole avalanche, right? This whole snowball effect. With you guys, so it sounds like, Carlos, you're doing a lot of training these days. You're training people. I'm excited about that too, because now I'm like, I want to get involved. What can you just let people know how they can find you, what training you're offering, what's going on there? And the same with you, Ron, if you're involved in that too. Can you guys just kind of spill the beans on how people can find you and how to get signed up?
Yeah, man. So our domain is PAID, paid.percalls.com. That was the only one that I can find after Adam Young bought pretty much all of them. So I found that one. Just what's going on, buddy? So paidpercalls.com, and then you will jump in my funnel there. You can learn more about what we do and why not. And I guess that's the best way to get you to talk to one of my closers, so they can go for your wallet.
Fantastic. I bet you, Ron, are you doing any training? Are you just doing your own thing, keeping it real, doing your own thing, keeping it real, share the wealth?
I'm kind of training, so I'm showing newbies how to people call on Facebook primarily. So it's kind of different from what Carlos doing. It's on OnlyFans. Like that. So
he does it in the nude, just FYI. Yeah.
A cheetah speedo.
Yeah, he doesn't shave his chest.
So OnlyFans /black_jetsetter. And also on my website on mobilepushers.com, there should be a link on there as well.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
I think this is a good time to kind of close this one up, you guys. We got so much information from you, and I thank you so much for joining us, and eternally grateful for having you here.
Totally has.
Anthony, thank you so much for putting this together. I think this is going to be a good first podcast. Hey, what are you calling this podcast anyway?
That's a good question. Caller Meetup Live. Caller Meetup Live sounds legit. Sounds like sounds like a show you'd watch in Vegas.
Yeah.
What's up?
I'm question. One thing too, I seen Gene's video like years ago when I first started. The paper call Blueprint 2.0.
Yeah. Oh, you know what happened?
Plug.
Yeah, I was like,
you know what happened was I was an affiliate manager the same time I was making that up, or I was doing paper call Blueprint, and nothing against Bangladesh, but I just got bombarded with Bangladesh paper callers. And they were stealing my shit, and then they had the audacity to like reach out to me after they stole my product and ask for help and to get on the network. And I was like, you know what? I've had enough of this. It's hard enough dealing with affiliates. Now I'm dealing with fraudsters at the same time. I was like, so I abandoned the whole thing. It's still out there, but I just don't update it. Maybe I'll get around to it. But yeah, training comes with a compromise, man. You got to be very careful. Yeah. Well, thanks, fellas.
Increase the price.
Yeah,
you increase the price and you get rid of that. Get rid of
those looky-loos.
Yeah.
Well, somebody would buy it and then they just rip all the videos and then they go upload it to a torrent site and then I'd start getting emails from people. Hey, I got your thing off of so and so. Oh, by the way, can I get on the network?
That's what I noticed. It happened. Like when I first put out like my first training, exactly that what happened. So I had to talk to my team. I was like, how about if we just sell our courses for like high ticket prices? And then now we're working with a lot less people. And I don't think somebody's going to pay like 10 grand to rip my video. I mean, if they do, yeah, but less people are going to do that at,
yeah, good point.
Those price points.
Yeah, no doubt. And they're buying into your circle too. Like there's no price on that.
That was a big takeaway to me too. Is I think that actually the content can be free in a lot of ways because it does take a network and it takes relationships to actually make it all work. That's what I've kind of learned. It's like I can give you the blueprint, but there's a lot that goes into the blueprint. There's high quality ingredients that are required to make the blueprint work, and if you don't have those high quality ingredients, you're gonna fail. That was my big takeaway. So
no doubt.
Maybe we'll bring it back.
It takes longer, I can say, I learned from YouTube and networking. It took me a long time. It took me a long time to really catch on to the whole affiliate marketing world. Like YouTube, everyone on YouTube want to sell your course at the end of the video and stuff like that. So it's like, they don't give away, these, I guess they give you just enough, to buy the course, on the video. But yeah, it took me a long time to really catch on, because I didn't have enough money to go, and pay for a mentor or whatever, or buy a course, whatnot. So it took me a while to catch on, but I suggest, just find a mentor in this industry. Instead of going the whole YouTube route, the free route, it's going to take forever to learn.
Mm-hmm.
That's I couldn't give any better advice than what you just said, Ron. Like, honestly, if you can find somebody that actually knows what they're doing and pay them money, because their time is extremely valuable, so is their education, and pay them and then go on with your life, become a business person, pay per call.
Yep, no doubt. Hey guys, this was badass. I hope we all had too many commas in our commission checks, ADP for real. And and I hope you all sign up for Ron's OnlyFans to see his chest. No, I'm playing. So I'm done. Hey, for real, you're gonna see a lot more of our face, especially Gene's golden brown face right there, making me look pale. But hey, it is what it is. Thanks for joining, everyone. We'll talk to you guys later.
Before you shut this down, okay. I got to do this plug.
Oh,
make sure we're not allowed to. We don't have any subscribers on YouTube because we literally just started the channel, so we couldn't live stream.
Yep.
So those of you out there that are watching this, make sure you subscribe to YouTube so that the next time we get on here, we could actually live stream to it. And then if you're an affiliate and you want to get started with PALO, you just go to, palomobile.com /sign up.
Yeah, Adam Young bought palomediagroup.com. I'm playing palomobile.com, and that's how you sign up as an affiliate.
Yeah, and you can go /sign up. I had our tech guy Daniel set up a quick, easy link so we can track things and just see how people are making their way through the funnel. But yeah, do that. So palomobile.com /sign up. If you're an affiliate, you want to get started with PALO. And make sure you subscribe and like and all that other bullshit that goes along with all these channels that we're going to be broadcasting on. All right, fellas. Anything else you want to add before we close her down? Any final words of wisdom? Any
haikus?
Haikus?
Like
You go. That's pretty much it right now for me.
All right, cool.
My brain kind of fried. I know.
Someone asked to like a freestyle, but I'm not doing that. Yeah, our subscribers. Carlos, anything from you, man?
All you, buddy.
Nah. Are you guys going to LeadCon and ASW? If you are, I would not get mad if you buy dinner. So see you guys at LeadCon and ASW. Come on, let's put it on the corporate card.
That's right.
Carlos is ready.
Peace out.
All right, my friends. All right, you guys take it easy. Thanks for watching, everyone out there. We'll talk to you soon.
Take it easy, guys.
All right, later.